Hello, my name is Luke Crilly and today I'm interviewing Robbie White as my local sporting hero for the Respect Peer Leadership Programme. First of all, thank you Robbie for agreeing to take part in this interview this afternoon. I would like to ask a few questions about your childhood and then sporting career if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no problem.
Where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
So I grew up down Temple Road, so I'm sure you know what that is. You're a Ballyholland lad. It's the road leading into Ballyholland.
Yeah.
Childhood was basically spent outside, a wee bit different to probably these young ones now. Half it's spent in the house, if not more so, on social media and stuff. So yeah, childhood's quite happy. Me and my brothers usually spent outside the house, or else most of my childhood would have been spent up in, Tony Haven.
Yeah.
His house up around the farm, but most of it mainly involved outdoors, yeah. So quite a happy childhood.
What hobbies or interests did you have as a child?
Same as most young lads. I was just out gallivanting, messing about, and then you've obviously had the two main hobbies I would have been Gaelic and then soccer. Would have played soccer for 3 ways when I was younger. So I was sort of like an amalgamation of all the different lads from Newry, and then I would have played Gaelic for Ballyholland.
How did you first get involved in Gaelic football?
So I actually started a wee bit later. Most young ones now start at 6. What age would you have started at?
Yeah, probably
about 6. So although I was in Tamhill Road, I used to hang about down towards Greenfield direction and around the manse and stuff. So I never would have ventured as far as Ballyholland in my younger days. It was too dangerous to head up the road or whatever reason. But I used to hang around with Tommy Kane, who he was my age. I was in school with Tommy, but his dad, Tommy Kane. And then he just brought me up to Ballyholland one time. I was about 9 or 10 roughly. I can't remember the exact age, but I know it started at under 10s. So that was my first introduction. But I was already playing soccer for 3 ways and stuff like that there. So I sort of like playing football and just like the physical aspect of it.
What was your fondest memory from playing football when you were younger?
Fondest memory of playing football when I was younger? I think just having the crack with all your friends was the main part of it. I used to love going to games, the minibus, and you used to still do that there, do you? The minibus, the away matches.
Yeah, if it's far enough, yeah.
Yeah, if it's far enough away, yeah. Just going down to games, having the crack with the lads. And playing obviously it wasn't as good when you get beat, but we were lucky enough. My age group, we were quite good. So we would have won championships and leagues in my age group, so it was probably a lot more fun for me. That was probably my most fondest, yeah.
Now, moving on to your sporting career, what would be your biggest achievement or proudest moment in your sporting career?
I suppose just getting to put on the Ballyholland Harps jersey week in, week out. Probably when I made my senior debut, I think I was about 16. 17 years ago, I remember like it was yesterday. I remember sitting in the change rooms, nervous as hell, didn't think it was starting. And then I was just told the team was called out. There was no telling me beforehand that it was starting. We were playing Mayor Bridge. So that's back when they had the great teams, Benny Coulter and all the other players. So back then you had Mickey Walsh and all the greats in Mayor Bridge. So that was my first experience in it. I just remember being so proud getting to play at such a young age.
What are your favourite memories from your sporting career?
In general, just getting to play football with my friends. I'm sure you'll find out whoever I played football with when I was younger, they're all my best friends now. I think I spent most of my time playing football when I was younger. It's what you do as a young lad. There was no social media, etc. back then. So a lot of it was just out playing about with all the boys. So yeah, just basically just hanging around with mates and making friendships.
Who is the best player you ever played with and why?
Best player I ever played with, probably not the most talented player, but definitely the best player I would have played with would have been Ronnie Murda. You know Ronnie?
Yeah.
Ronnie's a big legend up around the Ballyholland area. He's many reasons. When I joined the senior team, I always looked up to Ronnie as a young lad because he was the one that was playing for Down when I was your age. I remember watching when I was younger, but when you actually got to play with him, everything is. I think what stood out was his commitment, his bravery, his attitude. I think he just gave everything to the jersey, really, and whatever he did, he gave 100%. If he'd one leg, he would have played on. He's won us countless matches that I couldn't count in one hand the amount of games he's won us. But just he would have had a great attitude. Not only was he the best footballer, but he just would have given everything. And he's played at the highest level. So I would have to say Ronnie.
Who would you say was the best player you ever played against and why?
Best player I ever played against him a couple of times when I was younger. Would have to be, I'd say, Benny Calder. I think in the after the great teams in the 90s, they won the All Irelands. I think after that, probably the best player Downs ever had is Benny since then. I think most people used to say you'd pay the entrance fee alone just to go and watch him. He was just fantastic to watch. It was catching the ball, it was swinging points over his left, it was right. He could do anything. He was just one of those footballers that was just great at everything, really.
Who was the best manager you ever played under?
Best manager, played under a few, but I would have to say Shane Mulholland. You know Shane, don't you?
Yeah.
Or Hollow, as he's known as, or Mixer, whatever name you want to go by. Why? I think he's played at the highest level as a player, so I think his knowledge is quite high, and he's coached teams, he's coached university teams, and he's coached down minor teams, etc. And I think he just sees things very quickly. I think because he's such a naturally gifted footballer, I think it sort of transferred into the coaching end of things, with its tactic wise, or. But I also think, from a young lad's perspective now as well, he's got very good man management skills. He's good at putting the hand on the shoulder. He's also good at having a bit of crack with the boys, but you know where the crack ends, and it's very much he's serious when he has to be serious. And it's just his knowledge, really, in general. I think you respect him, and anything he says, you're always going to listen to. And I think he probably, I went back when football was a bit more enjoyable for me before all the defence football kicked in and starting to get away from it now. But I used to love playing under him because he just let me sort of do what I wanted to do, really. Or sort of like a freestyle sort of football.
What would you regard as the highest and lowest points in your sporting career?
Highest and lowest? Probably more lows than highs. Highest, I would maybe say highest and lowest is probably the same, believe it or not. Highest is getting to reach 3 championship finals for Ballyholland seniors in the senior championship, and the low is probably going to be the fact that we didn't win anything. So we're still yet to get over that final hurdle of getting to a championship final. Haven't got much long left, but hopefully you never know. It could happen soon enough.
What impact did these experiences have on you?
I would say both of them is a positive impact. Obviously, you're disappointed when you lose, but losing those types of games, especially proper tight ones, we lost 2 that were pretty tight, 1 in extra time. Just sort of gives you that wee sort of bit more motivation to do a wee bit more work in the gym, or if it's running or whatever it is. So it's probably had a positive effect, even the negative ones, because it makes you want to try and get to that milestone even more so. You're going to put in extra work, I would say, just to try and get there, or do whatever it takes, really. If
you could revisit a moment in your sporting career and change it, what would it be?
Probably one of those 3 finals. Like, we played Carryduff 4 or 5 years ago, and we were down out at half time. We came back and we sent it to extra time, and we had our chances to win it. We hit the crossbar, we missed points, and then unfortunately we just got tipped by a point at the very end. I made a few mistakes. I remember one of the mistakes led to a point for them. So I remember being hard on myself after that, because you sort of overthink things when you lose sort of tight games. What if I could have done better? So probably a few wee moments in that game that maybe could have twisted it, or turned the tide our way. So I'd probably revisit that one.
What was the best advice you ever given in sport?
I would have to say, don't worry about things you can't change. Because I know me personally, if I make a mistake, I can be quite hard on myself, and just for that split moment. But then you need to realise that that's going to have an effect. If I had a bad pass or had a bad shot, probably like thinking too much about what I did wrong. I think I was told that there when I was sort of young, because I was getting annoyed after I made a mistake, and I was basically, it's quite simple advice, but it's probably life advice too. Don't dwell on things that you can't change. So if you make a mistake, just sort of forget about it, and then sort of get tuned back in, so you're not making more mistakes because of that first mistake you just made.
What advice would you give to young people with regards to their sporting journey?
Make sure you pick something that you love doing, and as much as winning's great and whatever, make sure you're having fun doing it, I would say, and enjoy every moment of it. It's the cliche I remember being told when I was your age, your sporting career will be over in the blink of an eye, and I'm at the very end of mine now at 33, and literally it just goes past just like that. So I would say enjoy every moment while you can. Enjoy the moment with your friends, because they'll be your friends through life. You'll see them when you're older. So basically just have fun, I would say, yeah, and enjoy it well.
Thank you very much, Robbie, for taking the time out of your schedule to take part in this interview and giving me the opportunity to learn more about your life and sporting experience. I wish you all the best for the future.
Thanks very much. Good man.